Hi there, and welcome back to the Jays with M podcast. This is episode 2, the free agents of the offseason. Starting off with Kyle Tucker. As we know, he is now a Dodger. Yeah, I don't remember the deal now. I think I kind of blocked it out once he left. But yeah, I'm not shocked. I know we were involved. Tucker wanted long term. They offered money. The Mets offered money. I honestly did think he was going to be a J because we had offered him that very long-term contract. Is what he said originally he was looking for. And even the night before his signing with that interview with Jeff Passan, it sounded like he was going to be a Blue Jay. So to hear the Dodgers swept in and took him, it hurt. I'm not going to lie. I was excited to think we were upgrading even more than we already had this offseason. And the Dodgers again came in and sucked that hope out of us. But to me, also in my head, the way I look at it, if you care about that much more money than over a team with the moral values and all, you're not right for the clubhouse. To me, the fact he signed, he's only making $1 million a year, by the way. All that rest is signing bonuses. And bonuses he has to pay. It's all deferred. If the money is that much more important to you, that says enough to me about the type of player you are and how wrong you are for the Blue Jays. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but that's what I think. The fact he signed for that amount of money, it's also, I think, is an overpay. Because we also don't know how his season is going to be this year, considering the fact he broke his hand last year and missed 90% of the season. I know he's been a great player in the past, but you never know. You never know. Your hand can change anything. So, I don't know. It sucked. I think the worst part was the hopes were up. It almost felt like the Soto opportunity, the Ohtani thing, it literally feels like if this were the Jays, if this were the Jays and this was the Dodgers, we were up here with our money and the Dodgers were down here, it feels like we get used as leverage. That's what it feels like. So, it's shitty. It sucks. We lost it on Tucker. And then the hope was still there, Bichette. Now we can put more money into him. Now hopefully he'll come back. We can afford him more. There's no Tucker. And then Bo signs the very next day. That's literally what happened. Tucker went that night and Bo was gone by the 12 o'clock the next day. To the Mets. I'm still at a loss for words. If you had asked me in 2024 if Bo Bichette would leave or should be traded away or asked to be traded, I probably would have said yes. For whatever reason, I got this vibe from Bo in 2024. He didn't want to be there. Even early this year, I found he did not look like he wanted to be there. He almost looked like he wanted to be somewhere else. Which to me, if the guy's looking like that, leave then. If you don't want to be here, leave. So when October, November rolled around and my fans started asking me, do you think Bo's coming back? I felt like it had changed. I honestly thought, yeah, there's a high chance of him coming back. We just made the World Series, took the Dodgers to Game 7. I know it ended poorly, but we did that. You think he'd want to come back and play for a team that just made this incredible regular season. We were first in the East. We won the division. You think he'd want to come back and play for that. So, I honestly thought he would come back. But clearly, I was wrong. Yeah, when I was starting to hear news that the Phillies were kind of becoming the front runner, I could see him fitting there. I honestly could see him being a Philly. Don Mattingly went there for very undisclosed reasons. I'm still so curious about that. You never know. I felt like he wanted to change. I felt like they would probably provide that great change he's looking for. Schwarber's there. Oh my god, I forget his name. The first baseman. It was first base. Great hitter. Oh my god, what's his name? I can't remember his name. y'all are gonna see this and comment it and be like, it's this person, Jays. I'm like, Bryce Harper. That's what it is. Bryce Harper. Like, there's some big names there. They have good pitching. They've gotten to the playoffs the last couple years. They went to the World Series a couple years ago. Like, I honestly could have seen Bo playing there. That was kind of like how I felt about it, honestly. But clearly I was wrong. Clearly many of us were wrong, because I know a huge amount of Jays fans that thought he was coming back, no doubt. I will admit, I started to kind of feel doubtful as the new year approached, and there had been like no news on him until like literally within like the week and a half, 2 weeks of him signing. I honestly felt like as the more time went on, the less likely it became of him coming back, which it sucks to hear that out loud, and I know it does, but that's kind of how I was feeling. I'm like, if he goes on, like, I could kind of see now more teams are interested in him. The market's starting to move. Now there's less guys on the market, so now teams are going to be going in for him. That's kind of how I was feeling. And then when we signed Okamoto, I'm like, oh God, he's not coming back. But I'm like, well, if he comes back, Clement will lose his playing time, that kind of thing. Clement will be that backup kind of guy, so they could still make it work. I know then they announced Okamoto as the utility guy. I'm like, oh, they could totally make Bo work. He could still come back, and we didn't pay a lot for Okamoto. However, in the end, even like this, I came up with a few predicted lineup, defense styles, all that. It was unfortunate. Bo did leave. However, though, in Bo's contract, there is an opt-out after the first and second year. So you never know. He could be back on the market a year from now. Not even. He could be back on it in November. So who really knows? Because if he decides to opt out, boom, I think we'd go right back for him, potentially, depending how 2026 as a whole turns out. But I also don't know if we would with the rumors of there being a lockout. So, like, you just never really know where we could be in November, where he could be. He could choose to come back. He could miss wanting to play with Vladdy. They have said they want to remain friends. I apologize for the background noise. That is my cat trying to break in my room. But I don't want him in here because he like will rub in front of the camera and I can't. So yeah, like, you never know. However, though, don't know if you guys watched Bo's press interview. It pissed me off. He says he feels like the Mets have a chance of winning it every year. It's the best city. That pissed me off. I could go on for hours about that interview and how much it annoyed me. I can't. Like, what pissed me off, okay, so the Mets have, as he said, like, the best thing, they have a chance of winning. The Mets have one of the most historical collapses last season by any of the teams. They went from, like, being in first place, I think it was, to missing the playoffs entirely. And you have, like, stuff like that. Oh, they're the best city. What's with Toronto? What was so wrong with Toronto that we're not the best city? Like, that kind of thing. Comments like that. And then, like, you see, like, these interviews or, like, comments he sent to Hazel with our guys. He's like, oh, I love Toronto. I'm gonna miss it. I'm like, then in my head, I'm like, why did you leave then? Like, I really want to know why he left. Like, I feel like the reasons he's telling the media aren't the full story, and I want the full story. I want to be nosy. I like being nosy occasionally, and I just feel like we're not getting the whole story whatsoever from him, and I want to know. But anyways, he's gone now, so the Bo and Vladdy era in Toronto is over for now, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I'm excited to see I'm excited to see, like, how him leaving is going to affect the ball club. I know Witt came out and said he wasn't shocked that he left, because I guess there's issues between Bo and the front office, but you never know, and I don't want to comment on that because I don't want to make any assumptions. But however, if there was, that would explain why he did choose to leave in the end. Now our next signing, Okamoto. Welcome to Canada, man. I'm so excited to see him play. I think he's going to be incredible for the club. I know we currently have been told he's going to be like the utility man. I think, I don't want to spoil the next segment. I think he's going to do fantastic. I think he'll play mostly third base. I kind of think that he plays first, third, and left. I think he'll be primarily a third baseman. And I'm so excited. He's hit 30-plus home runs since 2018, other than one season, which was his most recent one. But, like, I think he's going to be such that addition. He's a power hitter. Like, last season, we were still lacking that power bat. I feel like we could still use one more for this coming season. But it definitely has improved our lineup just with him. And he's incredible defensively. Like, can you throw him with Jimenez, Vladdy, Clement, our outfielders? Like, our defense is still going to be unstoppable even without Bichette. Okamoto, I don't want to say replace Bo, but I feel like if we got him, I would have been a bit more worried, but I'm not. I honestly feel like Okamoto has replaced Bo, aside from, like, Bo is a very good, like, not ground ball hitter, but he puts the ball, like, in play all over the field. I don't know enough about Okamoto to say if he does that or not, but Okamoto has definitely added to the team. He hasn't taken away from anything. I don't feel like we've gone worse. I feel like our entire offseason has been incredible, even losing out on Tucker, but we lost out on Bregman, although I didn't think we were going to get Bregman from the beginning. I was not shocked at all when he went to the Cubs. But I'm so excited to see Okamoto play. Like, and he clearly seems like a great guy, because all of his Japanese teammates were wishing him good luck in Canada, and a couple of them asked us to take care of him. Like, if he was a bad clubhouse person, you wouldn't be getting that. Like, I know somebody from the Cubs clubhouse leaked something that Tucker has horrible. He sits on his phone before the game, doesn't do the scouting report, like, that kind of thing. And I'm like, okay. And I'm just like, then you have these Okamoto, like, it's so different between players. And I am so excited to kind of see what can come of him. I'm excited to see him in the uniform. I think he is going to do incredible in Toronto. And I think he's going to have a blast playing for us. Now, you're probably wondering, without Bo, how does our infield look? How does our outfield look? Like, you're probably all wondering what I think they look like. They're different. However, I think they'll be pretty close to what we saw in the World Series for the most part. So, I have a couple different ones. One depends on if Santander is healthy. One depends on, like, they all depend if players are healthy. There is so much different, aspects that go into one, like, area. But we're going to cover a bunch of them. So my first one, I'm going to call it the opening day. Kirk behind the dish. I don't have a pitcher. I would love to see a Savage, but although I think Gausman deserves it. That's kind of where I stand on that. I think Gausman deserves opening day. However, Savage opening day would be wild. First base is Vladdy. Now, second and short, I'm kind of up in the air. It'll be a combo of Clement and Jimenez. It's whether or not they want Clement at second or Jimenez at second and then the other at short. I'm not exactly sure how they want to work that, but it's really up to that. Same thing with third. Third, overall, I think it'll see how it kind of depends on Santander if he's healthy in spring training opening day. But if we're going to say the case, Santander is not healthy. Okamoto's at third, Barger's in right field. That gets to my third thing. Springer's in Varsho is in center field as always. If he's healthy. I hate saying if he's healthy. I hope to God he's healthy. Left field will be a combination of Nathan Lukes and Miles Straw. I think, and Davis Snyder. I think those three are going to split left field this year. Unless we somehow pick up a left fielder. I don't know who that would be because Bellinger's off the market now. I really don't know, guys. But I could kind of see that. That's overall what I think it would look like. However, though, I think, so let's say Santander gets hurt again, which would kill me inside because I've been vouching for the man. If Santander gets hurt again this season, Barger becomes our full-time right fielder, Okamoto's the full-time third baseman. Then we'd have Vladdy at first, the combo at second, which I also think I could see Davis playing some second base just to give some of them a night off, which I almost feel like that would probably give Jimenez our shortstop. Jimenez was incredible at short. incredible in the playoffs and World Series. So, like, it's different. It's going to be different. Yeah, our outfield, I don't think it'll change too much from last year. I honestly think that's, like, one of the few key parts of the Jays that are going to stay the same. But, yeah, I definitely think, like, it'll third and then right field. Right field will be split between Santander and Barger. Springer, I think, will be our full-time DH. Maybe a moment two here in left field, like last season. Okay, we need you out there. Springer, these guys aren't hitting. We need you out there, but we don't want to lose our DH. That kind of thing. But other than that, I think he'll be our full-time DH. What else? Yeah, pitchers. I have a little rotation idea. Gausman, Yasavage, Cease. I'm forgetting someone, and I always fucking forget someone. Oh my god, who else? I forget the other two. Oh my god, what's his name? Y'all, I'm gonna look at the worst Jays fan in the world because I can't remember their name. Bassett's still a free agent. Scherzer's still a free agent. I don't think Bowden will be in the starting rotation. Oh, we don't have a fifth one yet, I don't think. Do we? I can't remember now. If Brio stays a Blue Jay, he'll be fifth. I don't know who's fourth. I can't remember. Y'all are gonna, like, roast me in the comments under this one. It's so bad. I'm gonna get y'all are gonna, like, just shit talk, like, Jays or M as I go by. Like, what's with the player forgetting? What's with this? Like, I'm so embarrassed. But anyways, moving on. Our bullpen will pretty much be the same. Barland, Fluharty, the new guys, like, Rogers, like, the new guys. I think our bullpen's gotten better. However, I would love to see another arm, but also we gotta remember Garcia's coming back from injuries. There's a bunch of guys we'll have that are healthy in the first, like, at least to start the season. So, who knows? Like, I don't want to call that. That'll be, like, more of the spring training podcast once we get into those to find out, like, what it'll be. But, yeah. Kind of what I'm thinking for the infield. Our bench players. Obviously, Heineman. We got Davis, and I would love to see Loperfido on the bench if there's a roster spot for him. If not, I think it'll be Straw and Lucas. I honestly think that's our ideal bench because then we still have guys that can run because both of those two are demon on the base path. Nathan Lukes came up hardcore this past season. And I just honestly see them being still huge aspect parts of the team because you never know. Like, you never know how the season is going to go. And I would like to have guys that are fast runners. You know, I think... Now, I have a lot of people ask me for the lineup. I don't know. I think it'll reflect the World Series. I think Springer's leadoff. It'll either be Vladdy or kind of depends. I think Vladdy might bat second, but I don't know. I think it'll either be Vladdy or Lucas, depending on the game. But I also could see Clement batting second. Like, there's so many guys they could put up in that second hole. Like, they could put Kirk. Like, I don't know about second. I think it'll be Springer, somebody, Vladdy. Kirk, I think, is our 4-hitter. He was really good during cleanup. And then I could see Clement kind of batting 5th, Santander 6th, Varsho 7th. Forget any names. The left field, Okamoto, Santander, Jimenez. Like, I honestly screwed that up, and I know I did. Like, there's just so many different variations. However, I think it'll strongly reflect where they all were in the World Series, and then they'll kind of mix it up a little. But you never know. Vladdy might agree to place. Like, I know we all prefer Vladdy in the 3-hole, but you really never know with him. He could agree to bat second. I don't think he'd have an issue with it, but it would definitely be a whole different experience. However, the one part I can guarantee, Springer's the leadoff batter, Jimenez is the number 9. Okamoto, probably number 8, maybe 7. But if Okamoto is fucking killing it, I could see him up in the top 5. Like, the lineup is so much depends on how you're playing. You gotta throw Barger in there some games. Like, I don't think we'll have a really set lineup. unless you're like Vladdy, Springer, Jimenez, Clement, like other than like those guys, Barshow. But even then, as we saw last season, they all get moved around. Springer wasn't even the leadoff hitter for 90% of the season. So I definitely think he'll be the leadoff hitter this season, though. But who knows? I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong with all of those predictions. They could go out and sign someone tomorrow, and I'd have no clue who it was. No clue. No clue whatsoever. Now, I know this is a little bit of a shorter episode. However, it's the off-season, guys. There's not always a lot to talk about, and I did do some videos on my channel addressing my thoughts already, so this is kind of more of a long summary. However, though, ladies and gentlemen, I do have my submitted questions from the live stream in my comments, although they're only all for the live stream. So, starting off, Hunter asked me how I think Bregman's going to fit in with the Cubs. So, I don't know Alex Bregman very well, but from what I've heard from Boston fans, Cubs fans, I think he'll do well there. I actually think he is a good fit for the Cubs. Like, I saw pictures of him in a uniform. I think it'll be good for him. I think he'll do well there. I really do. Like, just from what I've seen him do, especially against us, the Jays, and I'm also really happy because he's out of the American League, which is, like, it's just stupid to say, but I think he'll do well there. So somebody asked me if I think Santander will have a good season or a bad season. That was Hunter again. I feel like Santander is going to do incredible if he stays healthy. If he's not healthy, he is going to do what he did last season and bring us down. If he is having a good season, it's because he's fully healthy. He took the off season, he rested. He's going to get his body ready properly this time. However, if he is having a down year, I say we trade him and bring someone new in. He contributed last year, but he didn't. He only did it a couple times, and I honestly feel like if he's going to be hurt all year, they need to sign someone else or trade for someone else. That's how I feel like we need to go out there thinking, okay, let's defend a championship title and bring home a different one. Like, that's almost what I feel with him, and I feel like if he is having a good season, we are going to be incredible, because we were missing a lefty bat. Well, we signed him for his lefty bat, and we didn't get it. I feel like if we have his lefty bat, the season is going to be a whole nother level of awesome. The next question, which is also from Hunter. Hunter submitted a lot this week. He asked me what I think Okamoto will do in the first season of the majors, which we kind of touched upon. I think he's going to do incredible. I expect probably 20 to 30 plus home run season from him, and I think he's going to do incredible. I'm honestly really excited to see him play. I'm really hoping he's there opening day because I'm going to be there and I really want to watch him. If he's not, I will definitely be making it to a game where he is playing. From Hunter again, he asked me if I think Dylan and Cody will strike out lots of batters. Of course I do. Having those two working with Walker and him being known as one of like the best pitching coaches in the majors, I think those two strikeouts are going to be insane. Plus, we have the defense, so they might be willing to like go after them a little more. I am so excited. I would bet money on a bunch of strikeouts coming from those two. Like, oh my God, I'm so excited to watch. I love when they strike out batters. They make me so much more excited than ground ball outs. A strikeout to me is always more exciting, and I hope and I think they're going to strike out a ton. Okay, this is from Hunter again. He asked me if I think Springer's going to retire after this year. So, yes and no. I think if Springer is secretly battling some injuries, I think he will. I think it'll honestly, like, what will factor in is this year will factor in huge for him. I think he'll go over, okay, is it worth, like, these are my injuries I'm dealing with. Am I able to? I don't want to let down a team. Like, I think Springer will honestly see, like, if he has a great season, I think he might. Do I know if he'll come back to the Jays? I don't know. But even then, I could see him retiring, especially with the stuff he's dealt with the last 2 years. But if he doesn't, if he doesn't. Like, it honestly depends on how well he plays, and I think how well he feels. Because if he's feeling shitty and all that, he's going to retire. He's not going to go out and sign another deal. If he does, I think it'll be max 2 years. But I think he's starting to kind of hit his point. He's been really banged up, but you never know. If he has another bounce back year, you really never know. So, from Hunter again. Hunter has submitted all the questions pretty much. Hunter had so many questions for me, and I love that. I love questions. He asked me if I thought Vladdy will have a 30-plus home run season. I could see it. If Vladdy plays as well as he did in the Division Series, the Championship Series, and the World Series, other than in Game 7, I could see him having a 30-plus home run season. I want to see that man teeing off, especially against the Dodgers and Yankees and Seattle Mariners. I think he could. I think it's possible. I think with Popkins still being the hitting coach this year, there's some normalcy around the team, and I think he can do it. I honestly would be happy and really proud and not shocked if he did it. I think it's possible. I think he'll find his swing again because he clearly found it near the end of last year. I honestly can see Vladdy going for it and doing it, which that would be incredible. If he can do that and then show up when we can advance to the playoffs again, I think it'll be incredible. Oh, this one is from Jays fan. Will the Jays consider Vladdy in the number 2 hole? Which we did talk about in the lineup. I think they will. I think in spring training there will be a lot of lineup discussions. Okay, what do we do without Bo? We have this people, this guy, this guy. I think there'll be a huge chunk of them. Yeah, but I could see Vladdy, and I don't think Vladdy really cares where he plays, as long as it's the first 3. But I think he'd want that. I think, personally, I get the vibe from Vladdy. All he wants is for his team to succeed. Doesn't matter where he is, what he has to do. As we know, he played some third last season. I think Vladdy just wants to do what his team needs, and I think he would be more than willing to play in the number 2 hole. So this is from Hunter. Hunter asked me if I think Jimenez will win a Gold Glove. If he's not hurt, yes. Depends on the position. If he's playing second or short, I think Jimenez can win it. If Jimenez is having a great year and not injured, had he been not injured this year, I think he would have won it for the 4th straight year. I honestly can see Jimenez winning another one. And that's why I'm not upset about Bo leaving, because we have gold. Jimenez is incredible defensively. He was insane during the playoffs at short. I could see him winning another Gold Glove. So I could see it. I agree with that. I'm actually really excited to watch him play it this year. He's healthy. I think his defense is a whole nother level and an upgrade from Bo at short. So yeah, guys, that is all the questions. A little bit of a shorter episode, but you know what? Whatever. Quick little announcement, though. I will, once the season starts going off, I will be kind of changing up the way I do the podcasts. We will still have our 30-minute plus episodes once a week, which I'm going to probably shift them to Sundays. That's just a random day of the week. I want to start posting them Sunday nights for everyone. And then what I'm going to be doing is every post game, even if I have to film it on the train, I'm going to do a max 10-minute little one that I just comment my thoughts, quick highlights of the game, disappointments, what I think they should have done different, that kind of thing. It's going to be max 10 minutes, and then our weekly will cover our 3 big topics from the week and then our questions. Anyways, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Go Blue Jays. Let's run this thing back, and who knows? Let's see what the season brings for us.